Welcome to the Palette Talks podcast.
Hello everyone, my name is Jason and you're listening to the Palette Talks podcast. In this beautiful day, we're joined by an amazing music producer hailing from France. Personally, I've been listening to some of his music for quite some time, for over a year now. So it's Honshu, everyone. Hey man, welcome to the show.
Yo, hey, how are you, man?
I'm doing really well. How's it going, man?
Everything's great. I'm just chilling right now, and I'm really happy to be here and to talk with you.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm so glad. I have so much things that I really want to talk about. So, for everyone listening out there, why don't you tell us who you are, what do you do, and a little bit of yourself, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so my real name is Adrian, but my producer name, I'm a music producer and I produce lo-fi and chill hip-hop beats. I started my music journey like 1 year ago, and yeah, I just like the community and producing beats. I use a computer and a SP44SX to make my music. I'm also into other hobbies like film photography, and I play the piano, especially jazz. I think that some cool things in the community is just working with other people, and so you can see that I have many collabs. And yeah, I just like to connect with people, and that's why I make beats, because you can also meet great people and just have lots of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think collaborations are one of the things that make this scene very fun and very fascinating. And I actually saw that you've been doing collaborations with a lot of people. I saw that you've been working together with Caleb Belkin, Taisu, Lightfoot, and a bunch of other amazing producers. So I'm wondering, how do collaborations work for you? Like, do you reach out to them or do they reach out to you? Is it a part of your strategy or is it just something natural and organic that you kind of come up?
It depends for how we do it, but most of the time, I just become friends with other producers and we talk, and then we think that it could be great to mix our vibes and technique to create something unique. So I started to talk with some producers when I got into lo-fi, and when I thought that it was a great moment to work together, I asked them. And so most of the time, someone is working on the main sample and melody basis, and the other one comes up with drums, and then we just work together. It's just to have fun, we don't have a specific way to do it. We just see and we work on it until we are proud of it, and the most important is just to have fun. It's not to do collabs or release with bigger artists, but just about trying new things and sounding different.
100%. I think especially with these lo-fi scene, I think it's really important to stand out and really produce music that you love. A lot of people have been just making music. I have no judgments. I think it's okay, but a lot of people have been just trying to fit in and they're not doing something that they actually enjoy doing. They are making beats that they're just doing it because they know a lot of people will like it, but they don't personally like it. But I think that's interesting when you said that it's actually just about trying to have fun, right? It's music, it's something that speaks to the audience emotionally. I think it has a big impact on that emotional level. So I think producers and artists have done a really great job, especially you, just trying to make it fun, try to make it lively and, colorful. Yeah.
Yo, man, I appreciate that. And yeah, totally. Lots of people are or got into lo-fi to make beats because it was kind of mainstream a few years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think that this makes sense, because if you are just doing this to do it and not finding any reason or something personal, you will stop, because it makes no sense. Even though you have lots of listeners, you will have nothing from all this work. And that's why I also think that we shouldn't, and I'm the first one to tell this, we shouldn't stay into lo-fi. Like, we shouldn't think that lo-fi is something really specific, rules and stuff we need to respect, and we should just do our music to have fun. If you think that basic or classic lo-fi isn't fun anymore, you can do whatever you want. And you can also call it lo-fi, because it needs to be lo-fi to you. It can have lots of elements from other music genres. It's not a problem, because you just need to like what you do and enjoy. Because if you do it just because you think that other people would like it, you should stop, because it makes no sense. You can maybe find another hobby that you will really like, but then I don't think that producing is made for you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that 100%, because I've been speaking to some producers that I've seen their upcoming releases is actually, in a worldly perspective, is different from lo-fi. I wouldn't even call it lo-fi, even though they came out from the roots of lo-fi music. But it's incredible seeing people trying other genres, trying different styles of music. I think it's fun for them, and I think it's really important to, it's okay if you want to try some other types of music, or even doing other activities aside from music. I think there's a level of judgment that some people get, because, oh, I've been getting lots of listeners, or I've been working with amazing people, so I just need to stick with what I'm good at. But instead, they don't try the things that they actually have been wanting to do. And I think it cripples them in the inside, right? Like you said, you eventually will burn out. Eventually you get tired of it, because like there's no more passion in there. There's no fire inside of your heart that like pushes you, you know? It's something that's very interesting, and I think a lot of people should understand that in a bigger perspective.
Yeah, totally. And also, you talked about people who are creating something different from lo-fi, but they are scared of releasing it because it doesn't fit like what their audience is used to. And I can understand this, because we see that many artists, like classic lo-fi artists like Elijah Hu, for example, are moving into a experimental and ambient sound. And some of their fans aren't happy, but that's not a problem. They can still listen to the old music and try to discover something new. I made lots of music, but I didn't release them because I didn't think it was a great thing for my listeners. But no, if I had to do it again, I would just release it, because I love making it, and it just shows what I feel and how I want to tell a story, So people should really not be scared about releasing something, even if they are known as a lo-fi artist or as a specific genre. Even if you're a rapper, you can make a song where you sing or just beats. Just do what you like, and that's not even only in music, just everywhere. Try new things, and don't think about how people will like it, because you can be sure that you will like it, and at least one person on earth will like it and support you.
Yeah, and I think,
And we should be grateful.
yeah, 100%. And I think definitely there's a dilemma, because like you want to release different types of music, but like what about your listeners, right? You've been building this community of people who likes lo-fi music. I've talked to some people as well, and they've actually created a different alias for their different types of genres. So instead of So it will not mess up the algorithms of their artist page because they actually create a new page for that. So it's incredible. It's fascinating to see people with three different Spotify pages with three different genres, but actually they're the same person. They're just the outflow of these creative ideas. So I think that could be helpful for some people. Just do it under a different name. It won't mess up your algorithm, but it will make you happy from the inside.
Yeah, I agree. I already thought about doing this to release my. I want to get into house and jazz house music, kind of different styles, and also for my jazz
Mm.
composition. And so I already thought about creating other artists, but I just think that it's still not the right moment. But if you are struggling with choosing what you should release, and if you do more genres, I totally recommend to do that. That's a great thing because you will be the same person behind this, but people can choose if they want to listen to you in this way or to you in another way.
Mm.
So yeah, just create another artist and release what you want to release.
Yeah, and I think you put it very simply, very simple. Sorry, and I think that's very good because a lot of artists and producers are overthinking it. They they overthink the process, the strategies, and in the end, they're not doing what they truly enjoy because they have so much things in their mind, right, that obstruct them eventually creatively. Not allowing them to truly make the music or make those ideas that are stuck in their head and putting them out to the world. So I think um, that's a really interesting point that you said. Yeah. So I'm actually interested in your backstory. Before we move on any further, let's go backwards. So you said that you started with Honshu um, a little over a year ago. So that's actually pretty recent. But how did you first start making music? Like when did it happen, and how did that becomes um, Honshu?
Okay, so actually, it was about 1.5 year
Mm,
ago, October 2018, and in France, we have school vacation for 2 weeks during this month.
mm,
So I just was in the south of France relaxing, and I had my old synthesizer to practice the piano.
mm,
I knew how to use a music production software because I already experimented it as a kid, but just to do random things like for fun. So I knew the basic things, and I already knew lo-fi like in 2016, and I listened to it a lot.
mm.
But then it just stopped, and at this time I really got back into lo-fi and also started about film picture and other hobbies, and that just linked me to that community.
Mm.
And so yeah, I started talking with some producers just to know more about how they work and what they think about this. And so the next day I just went to a store and got a cable to link my synthesizer to my computer,
Wow.
played 4 piano chords, added a simple drum beat, and that was my first beat. It was trash, but it was the beginning.
Mm,
And everything you will do, I do not talk about stuff you release or you show, but the first thing you will do will be terrible.
yeah.
If it's a song or a podcast, a book, everything, you just need to continue and practice. Because yeah, my first music was really bad and I just released it on SoundCloud, shared with a few friends.
Mm,
And I think that maybe 4 or 5 months later, I really got into the community and started making more decent beats. But yeah, I just started one day and I didn't know if I would like it. And I think that's kind of like the talk you had with the other artist last day about trying something new.
mm.
And that's just what I did. So I totally understand people that are encouraging others to just try something and see if you like it, because no, it's one of my main hobbies. And if I look back, I can see that if I where I am now, I couldn't be there if I didn't start like I did. So yeah, you shouldn't be scared about beginning slowly and with maybe not so great sounds. But yeah, just start doing things like I did and see if you will like it. Experiment.
Wow, that's some wisdom right there. But it's amazing that you actually started it on 2018 during your school vacation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what went into your mind? What makes you motivated, I would say, to all right, I really want to try this out and put in the work instead of just meddling in. But like what gives you that eureka moment that puts you to like, I really want to try something, but this time for real, for real. And that's lo-fi music. What went into your mind then?
Oh, I think that my days were kind of boring
Ah,
at those times. So, I was just living my days, maybe losing some time spending on the phone or doing random things. And I had a hobby that was playing the piano, but yeah, it was just there. And so yeah, I was like, yeah, no, do something, just try it. You have been waiting a lot of time to do things. No, just go ahead, get that cable, start playing those chords and go for it. And I think that listening a lot to lo-fi at this time and just to see what my favorite producers could do, that was a big motivation and inspiration. So yeah, just like I just thought that it was the right moment.
mm.
And usually when I have an idea or something I want to do, I do it directly because I feel like this is how it should be.
Yeah, just do it directly, and definitely just not overthinking it. And you actually said something about like your first beats will always suck. I mean, like usually it's always terrible. I think not just beats, but like in everything that we do. Like my first post is really bad. My first time talking, in front of a big audience is is bad. So, but you started it out, right? You just whatever, and you just posted it on SoundCloud, and then you went on to your next releases, and so on and so forth. But I think a lot of people have been struggling with facing the judgments that their work sucks. Like especially with friends. I think
Yeah,
especially in this social media era, I would say, like I've seen younger people especially struggle with trying to put out something out there. They really want to do it, but they're
yeah,
scared because what if their friends think it's bad, you know? Like they are too scared facing those judgments. But people like you, people like us, like we faced it. Like I know maybe we have our differences in how we see judgments and opinions of others, but did that occur to you? Did that happen to you? Like, oh, I don't think it's something good for you, or is it like, do you have those opposition coming out for you?
I think that in the beginning I had not this kind of feelings,
Mm,
but as my music became different and better because I was just like getting more tips and more habits, I think that I got more stress about what I should release because I always wanted to be better than what I did before. But also, I don't think that I had some social pressure from other people
mhm,
in my community, like friends or people I know, because I totally agree that in friends at our age, there are lots of people judging pictures or I don't know
mm,
everything, outfits, haircuts, ways to talk and stuff.
yeah,
But I think that I knew that I was nothing special, and so I had nothing to lose and nothing to be judged for because I just did my music and released it. Nobody has to listen to your music, so why should you struggle? If people don't like it, they don't like it and they won't listen to it. But if you know that you and even one other person enjoys it, and I had some friends enjoying it, that's so great. I mean, you don't even think about what could happen otherwise.
Yeah. Well, that's actually wow, that's a good perspective. Like putting yourself in a very humbling position, like you've got nothing to lose. So what would happen anyways? And understanding that people have ultimately people have the decisions to decide whether, they want to listen to your music or they don't want to listen to your music, or whether they think that music is good or it's bad. Like, but when you know you're doing it because you enjoy doing it, those opinions don't really matter, you know, and you just keep on doing what you love. And especially when you can give some love for others, like people are being blessed through what you do, that's another different kind of feeling, to make people stay.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's also about the audience you got, you know? Some people may struggle because they have one listener or 10 or even 30, but you know what that means? That means that maybe 10 people like what you do and you did it because you have fun. So just if it's 10 people, that's already crazy because it means that 10 people support your hobby and what you do to have fun. Lots of people are like, yeah, I have no listeners, I want to be on playlists and stuff.
Mm.
And I also felt like this and know that I have more than like 200,000 listeners a month.
Yeah.
I see that first I was kind of, yeah, this will come down one day and I will feel bad, but no, I just feel like even if you have one people supporting you or 30 or 10, not a big amount, that's already crazy
Mm.
because it just means that some people are following what you do and you shouldn't be scared to be mocked because you have only a few listeners, you know, that your friends say that it's proud or something like that, and that nobody listens to stuff because that's already really big. And if people can realize this, I think that they will be scared about releasing their stuff.
Mm. Yeah, and I think a lot of times we think of those numbers as just statistics, but when you think about it as people, like 10 different people, 10 different people from different backgrounds and different problems and different work and different, taste, listen to your music, like it opens up your mind to a different perspective. Like 10 real people are listening to my music, and that just changes everything. But of course you don't have 10 monthly listener, at least for now. You have over 200,000 monthly listeners, and that's something that I think you should be proud of course. Like you're gonna get further up, like the possibilities are endless. But I saw that your biggest song, Trees, right? For now, at least, your
Yeah,
biggest songs is from your album, Quiet, right? And it
yeah,
it
exactly.
has garnered over 1,230,000. I checked out before. Um, and what's fascinating about it is the fact that it's actually independently released. Is that right?
Yeah, totally. We were just by myself, and that's kind of crazy because nowadays almost every playlist spot is owned by just collectors, vinyl digital or chill beats or like big records, you know.
Yeah.
And some people just got lucky like me, and I'm just so grateful because I could never think that this would happen. Also because this song I think is not too like classic lo-fi, and it still ended up in lo-fi beat. And I think that this is great because it shows that people out there at Spotify now realize that lo-fi is just not simple lo-fi because they also feature people like Light Beat
Mm.
that are making that have a pretty special vibe and style that is amazing. And yeah, getting there independently was just insane. Like I cannot even still realize what all those numbers are and how this all happened. And that's why I'm really, I will forever be grateful for this time in the playlist.
Yeah, I mean that's really crazy because a lot of time the producers have their top songs are actually part either of a compilation or a release with big record labels or big curators, and but somehow you can independently show to people that your independent releases can actually work. And I think that's very interesting because a lot of times people think that the music scene or the lo-fi scene, I would say, is kind of rigged. Like you can only win if you are working with labels or you're doing things here and there. Of course, the chances of, I would say, I mean, I'm just be frank, to explode if you're working with record labels, the chances are much higher. But somehow you can go way beyond those barriers. So what happened there? When did you first start to realize that, oh, I think this is this is getting bigger and bigger?
Oh, so actually the day it released on January 10th, I just like waited until 12 p.m., to check the release and stuff.
Mm.
And then, so yeah, everything was alright, all tracks there, the cover was not blurry and stuff, so I just went to bed. And then on the morning, I just see 20 people listening now. And that was a lot to me because I always maybe 5 or 10.
Mm.
And I checked the stream and it was like 700. So yeah, I keep doing my stuff. I was like, whoa, cool. Some people already checked it out. And then go to school and live my day normally. And when I come back for lunch at like 12, I check my Spotify and they say 40 people listening now.
Wow.
So I was, wait, that doesn't sound like a usual thing. Even though I have a release, I never had this. So I just go on Lo-Fi, search for my name, and I check on 3 different phones and computers to make sure that it was not something wrong. And then the next days were just crazy. Like you just go up with listeners and audience, and yeah, it just feels so grateful because you did this for the fun and had a lot of fun with this track. And choose one of the 12 tracks to submit, and that was the one I used. And so yeah, it was just insane. I didn't even really realize what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, like that feeling must be really crazy, especially like you go to bed and then you go to school and then like at lunch you check over 40 people are listening to your music at that moment. Like, something good is happening. Uh, and
Yeah, totally.
and especially you release an album and you've got a lot of songs there, but you can only have one shot because you only can choose one song, right? That you think would do well for the playlist
Yeah,
pitching to the editorial playlist. So it's wow, truly incredible because um, it's really hard to be able to get onto those playlists. I think a lot of people have been thinking like, nah, it's not gonna happen. Like they're only gonna pick up,
yeah,
those songs from big producers, but no, actually you can get into those playlists. As long as your song is good. Yeah.
yeah. And also, this makes me want to tell that just everybody can do it. I had no record label or no specific help. And I love my song, but I mean, it's still a decent beat, so you should not be scared or think that your music won't be out there. And just try, keep it simple. Like I know record labels make really special pitch and write a lot about the track, make it really
Mm.
professional. And I just wrote, here is my new track with Lightfoot, enjoy listening, and it worked. So guys, don't worry if you think that you don't do things right. Keep it simple and just keep your fingers crossed.
Yep. You gotta fingers crossed. And I think that's something that people should hear, because it's really hard, to be honest. For some people, it's, I would say, challenging to thrive in the scene, especially now we're seeing, like you said before, that the lo-fi scene, especially in this last 2 years, have been really growing very fast. And especially with the pandemic and everything that's been going on, a lot of people, and theoretically, I would say people are getting more stressed, staying and working from home. So they need to play chill beats, or lo-fi beats. So now even it goes further up. It goes even more exposure, especially for lo-fi music. So it's it's really crowded, I would say, right now. Um, and it's really hard to stand out in these times, because lo-fi beats feel like cafe music, or it feels like it's something that just kind of flow. So people don't really can differentiate, each songs from each artists. So
Oh
what do you
yeah.
think about that? How do you think you can make lo-fi music that's original and people can love it for what it is, instead of it being just a lo-fi beat?
Okay, so first of all, I think that a lot of people think that lo-fi is kind of dead, you know. Some people are saying that it's no old, not that mainstream anymore, like golden era around
Hmm.
2017, and no, they don't want to hear it anymore. But I think that the golden era of lo-fi is now, because you see so many artists that are making lo-fi. It's way more than lo-fi, and the community is way more big and open, and it has never been so well done. So if you are a producer and you would like to come into the lo-fi game, even though it looks crowded, you can just start and see what will happen, because a classic lo-fi beat still has chances to blow up and stuff. But first of all, if you try to blow up, it may not happen, so don't think about this. Then you can try to experiment new styles. There are those classic lo-fi artists who have a
Hmm.
specific genre. So how about you creating your own vibe and stuff, using some new instruments or new percussions or drum loops that have something that makes you think that this artist made it,
Hmm.
you know, like creating your own sound, and really don't care about doing something else in lo-fi, because just a name. We choose lo-fi to approximately know what we are
Yeah.
doing, but I don't think that this is important. So if you want to do a lo-fi beat that is original and that people like, try to do it and do it personal. Like, don't do it just for the vibe, but try to tell a story, a memory, or share a feeling. And if people can live your feeling, your story, while living their own story and memory again while listening, then you got it. Because music is not just something to do for fun, or it can also be that, but I think that more about sharing something personal. So create your own story in your music, and people will enjoy it.
Yeah, I think um, it's always important to understand that music will feel different when you're telling a story. It's really hard to describe a certain memory or a certain story or a certain feeling with words. And some people can portray those things that are happening inside them through music. And I think music is a really good way for people to let it flow, to let it out. And I think that will be a very good place to start, or to experiment with lo-fi music. So even if it's crowded, even if it's saturated, just come and experiment. What if this next beat that you're making is actually something that will change you? personally. So
Yeah,
I think that's a
totally.
really good way to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
And you also talked before about like community. And one thing that I just genuinely love about the lo-fi community is that everybody is just supportive. Like you can
Yeah,
really meet others through people. Like it's a word of mouth game, and like, oh, I know this person, and like, oh yeah, I also know this person, and you can kind of collab together or work together. And this very supportive community is, I think it's going to be really helpful for people because you understand that you're
exactly.
facing the same problems, the same struggles. So
Mm.
like it's a good way to help each other.
Yeah, everybody is welcome to just come and send us your beats or just chat, ask some tips, or just get to know each other. The community is always open and you always find producers or even me. If you are a producer and want to try or come into the community, we will always be open to new people. And that's what we love because there will always be something new to know and to meet, you know?
Yeah, so for all the people out there, you're still new with Lo-Fi, you're still new with the community, feel free to just DM us. Feel free to connect with us.
Exactly.
Just get to know us. We're not gonna um, demand something out of you or do some bad things for you, or we're gonna judge you. No, we're here
Yeah,
for
exactly.
supporting each other. And I think, yeah, don't be scared if you want to reach out to the producers, to the artists. I think they will be glad to help.
Yeah, I experienced exactly the same situation when I started, so why should people know have less chances, you know?
Yeah, and it's something that everybody can do, because sometimes if you need to talk, um, like in real life, a lot of people struggle because, like, you gotta say it smoothly, you gotta do it with a right way, with the right pitch. But with just messages, you can just think about, oh, what should I write for this person, right? So I think everybody can do it as long as you have a phone or you're connected to the internet. You can do it. You can think about it. You can just brainstorm on what you want to say, on what you want to ask. So I think there is no more excuses. There are no more excuses for people to
Yeah,
start this and get to learn something new.
and yeah, also, uh, as a producer, I can tell to every new producer or hesitating producer, you don't need tons of hardware. I made my beats only with my computer until 2 weeks ago, where I got my SP. Otherwise, everything was fully made on a free software on my
Mm.
computer. Even if it's not Ableton or FL Studio or some professional stuff, just do your beat and that's it. I never got into lots of software. I just have a computer, speaker, and that's it. Know my SP for live set and make other types
Mm.
of beats. But yeah, you don't need to be scared because you have nothing because you don't need anything.
Yeah, so it's okay to start with no expensive equipments, or a lot of people just think that they cannot do anything because they don't have those softwares, or they don't have the instruments, like, and they're really expensive. But I think if you really am passionate about it, you will do whatever it takes to do it, even when you
Totally.
don't have that software or the hardware. But you can still make music, especially in 2020. I think you definitely can do
Yeah,
that.
totally.
Yeah. So you started with just, what did you start with? FL Studio or?
No, man, I started with
Oh,
GarageBand and I still
this is the
use
real
them.
deal.
For all of my beats are made on GarageBand. I mean, it's a free
Yeah.
software. There is nothing special in it, but I just found ways to use it to have everything I want with effects mastering, just using and creating every part of a song. So I'm nothing special. So I mean, everybody can try it out. Maybe it won't work for you. Maybe you're applicant, but don't hesitate to try using something, even if people in the community think that it's a bad thing. It doesn't mean that it is for everybody. So yeah, I just started with the free software, and I still make like 90% my music on it, just using my SP and some other software sometimes. But yeah, software or hardware doesn't mean anything. Why it was made fully on GarageBand.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Because a lot of people are underestimating GarageBand because it's like, it's free and it's out there.
Yeah, for real.
But to make something beautiful out of that, man, ooh, like I think the people out there don't have any more excuses. You can literally do anything.
Yeah, just try and experience, see if you like it. If not, try something else. But don't stay stuck because you think that people won't appreciate this, because it doesn't mean anything. Almost nobody knows what software I'm using, and that's great too. And I mean, what you do is music. You don't do it to use a special hardware or software. So yeah, just create and use everything you can and be creative.
Definitely, definitely. So, I'm gonna talk. I want to talk more right now about like the future. So, do you have any plans, maybe in your mind, of what you want to do in the next month or the next year or the next 5 years? Do you have any plans at all?
Actually, I read for a long time, like still studying in high school. So, and music is a hobby, like produce beats. But I want and I hope that I will keep it. But I'm also not scared of not liking it anymore one day, because that will just be the thing, and you cannot choose. So for the coming ones, I'm trying to produce a new album, but it's taking a lot of time because I'm working on it since February, and I have one track so far. So it takes a lot of time. And for the coming years, I just hope to continue creating beats with the artists I like and that community vibe, and just not get too lonely in there. Like keep
Yeah.
connecting with people, and never. The one thing I really want is never stop learning something. You can always learn something new, always try something new. And so my plans for the coming years are just to continue making beats, try new genres, and keep providing my music for people who want it. Maybe work with some record labels or singers, but just enjoy my music and don't forget how I reached what I reached. Always look back and just be grateful for everything that happened.
Yeah, I think. Wow. Yeah, that's really good. And I think uh you just got to take it slow, right? There's no need to rush. Um,
Exactly.
it takes time to definitely for a release and definitely for an album. It will take quite some time, and that's okay. There's no need to rush. Um,
Yeah,
just tell
totally.
your story, tell your emotions, and I believe that good things are waiting in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. And also, I will keep releasing singles and collaborations as single releases. So yeah, just be patient, and I will be patient too, and try to hear my next story that I'm writing and composing right now.
Awesome, awesome. So before we wrap this up, do you have any messages or advices for people out there just to close this? Do you have any advices or messages for the people listening out there?
Yeah, I want to tell a few things. First of all, support your friends creating
Mm.
something. You don't have to like their stuff or follow them and like everything they do. You just show love because they take time creating and they are proud of what they do. So I think that support is free, but don't support just to support. Support not just for the music, support because these are people you know and they try their best, so support each other and not only into music, into everything they do, into schoolwork, writing, making art, or doing things every day, daily life. Just support your friends and your family in everything they try and they do, and tell them and help them to reach their goals because everybody can do that. Also, I would like to tell everybody that they are capable of everything they want to try, and they may not reach what they want right now, but they just gotta stay patient and continue working hard and giving their best daily. Also, don't overthink and worry too much about what's coming, and just live each day as your best day because you won't find an answer and you won't find what the future has for you and is waiting for you. So just live each day, try to enjoy everything, every little thing. I don't know, even if it's just a sunshine or a flower you see, somebody you meet, or a
Mm.
smile, just a short moment, try to enjoy it. Even if you don't have a lot of time, take time for you, take some breaks, and give yourself some time to experience new things, like maybe cooking or music, like me, or just try something every day and learn something new every day to just to try to get into a better mindset. Also, if you are maybe feeling bad at the moment or having some problems in your relationship, try to find something that can make you always happy and a way to always find joy. You cannot be happy every day because we are human and we have happy as sad moments. So yeah, just don't forget that everything will always be better. It's just in life and relationship, and also in what you do in music, art, or daily life. Don't think that one thing will be stuck every day, because I had a long time thinking that my music was dead. I had no more
Mm.
audience and stuff. And what I see now is that it was wrong. So why thinking about it if you don't even know what's happening? Just enjoy everything you can and try to stay positive all day. And yeah, just share love and positivity to each other
Yep.
out there, and always listen to your friends who need some support and enjoy your life. Yeah, that's it.
That's right. So, guys, support your friends, your family, be patient, and keep on working hard in everything that you do. Everything will take time, but don't overthink it. Enjoy life, be in the moment. Shout out love and
Yeah,
positivity everywhere you are. So, yeah, thank you so much for your time, man. Do you have any shout outs? Do you have
yo,
any
thank
shout
you
outs
for,
for some people that just want to spread
yeah,
love?
yeah. Shout outs to my boy, my group noob, my French producer homies. We always have lots of fun. Shout out to every people listening. I wish you have a great day and that tomorrow will be awesome. Shout out to all my friends and yeah, my family, my best friends, and everybody in the community. Shout out to you, man, because you invited me. Yeah, it's super
For
nice
sure,
time, man.
anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime, anytime. So, Honshu, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it. It's been a pleasure talking to you personally, getting to know how you think,
Yeah, thank you
and
so
and
much.
wow, I'm so blessed today. So I'm really thankful, and I wish you all the best for your future.
Yeah. Peace, man. Have a nice day.
Awesome. And I also would like to thank everyone who has been listening up until this point. I hope you guys learned a lot of new things today, and I hope this brings value and you can really apply it to your life, to your music career, or just other activities in your life. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please stay safe and take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.